Eli Forgore.
Okay.
Eli forgot.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eli. I will be your Dungeon Master / Archivist for episode 27 here on 20-sided Archives of Chronicles of Umaria, Chapter 1, Shadow Falls. As always, I am joined by Thevin Winterfall, played by Jared.
Cheers.
Chisel Havard, played by Brian.
Hello.
And Redwood of Velica Draveau, played by Casey.
Mwah.
Rah.
I apologize for anyone who watches this back later for the 4 minutes of silence that I did not realize was happening. But here we are.
It's not a stream without something being a little scuffed.
Yeah.
I am the scuff.
I am the scuff. Last where we had left off, our trio of travelers set on saving the world from the Blight and the undead traveled to the Golden Sanctum on the back and the help of Olron and his children. After having saved him within the Knotted Rise, they spent some time within the village at the base of the Golden Sanctum's temple proper, where they got comfortable and proceeded to meet the council. Who I already forgot the name of, because I'm so good at that. Casey, if you would
You are the best.
I am the best at that. Casey, if you would be so kind. But after having spoken with her and the wizard, who I also forgot the name of.
Helen is the
Hey,
wizard.
council,
Helen
want to
is the
see a
wizard.
cool magic trick? Perform sacrilege humancy?
I don't
Hey,
remember
wizard.
the elders' names.
Oh no.
I have Egos and Zejet, the dragons, and then it talks about the Golden Thread Church in the Golden Sanctum, who built the Sanctum, and the wizard.
Cool. I'll get to that in just a second. But in the
You can see my
meantime,
disaster scuffle of notes.
in the meantime, because of my own scuffing, I'm now just so lost and confused.
Let's take it from the top.
Let's take it from the top.
We just met the wizard Helen.
Yes, you just
Yeet.
met the wizard Helen. Ven Kashale was also at the Golden Sanctum with all of you. You had reconvened with him and Nuntius, who had introduced you all to the council. All of which seemed very sketchy and uncomfortable with all of you. What's with the face? What are you doing?
You mean Bustius was sketchy?
I hate you sometimes.
No, you don't.
Hold on a second here.
As I also recall, we ended the session with everyone going their separate ways, as we all kind of just, spend some downtime. Chisel to go train, similar to Palm on a horrific scene. Thevin went hunting near the bakery. And I forgot what Redwood
Quote.
was doing.
Redwood forgot what Redwood was doing. May we please have the minutes from the last session?
I think that's what Eli is trying to look up now. The last little bit.
You don't really notice anything off in the room. The air is kind of charged. I am Aomide.
Casey,
Well?
does it look better with these? The
I remember now.
or these?
I remember.
You remember now?
I remember the head oracle's name. Iomide. Oh my god, so sorry. I actually went into our into the
Last episode.
last episode to bring it up. So head oracle Aomide. You basically 7 did hemomancy, which considering everything to do with the whole blight and all that stuff wasn't really well received. He then proceeded to also be pinned to a wall by the wizard Helen, who you found out was actually an Earth genasi, as the elemental planes in this world are very thin in terms of barriers, creating a stronger connection between the two worlds. It is here, shortly after, that we reconvene. After actually, we're not gonna go back with the wizard. We're gonna pick up with Chisel, who had a nightmarish encounter with something down deep in the catacombs of the Golden Sanctum. We had decided later on to retcon his anxiety attack due to some
Due
forgetfulness.
to an ability that I have.
Yeah, due to some forgetfulness and or poor decision making on my part. But it is at this moment, it is still very dark and you're still within this hallway. Roll me just a general perception check if you would be so kind, Chisel.
And I don't have disadvantage.
No, because you have your sight
Yippee!
back, but you still
Yay!
got an
11.
11.
Hey, it's better than a nat 1.
Better than that one.
I will forever say this. It's better than a nat 1.
That is the mantra of this campaign. Better than a nat 1. You had this horrific vision of bodies and spirits pulling and grabbing you and sinking you down into this dark void that seemed to have no end to it, crying and pleading in one way, shape, or form. But above all else, after this encounter, you feel something warm on your upper lip, and you take your thumb and you wipe it. Your nose is bleeding. I'm going to need you to do me a favor. Well, not necessarily a favor, but... Hold on. You do take 2 points of psychic damage as whatever happened to you has left you disoriented and has clearly affected your mind in more ways than one. I would also like to say that you are currently... You did succeed the wisdom saving throw to prevent yourself from having a panic attack, but you are frightened for at least an hour.
Well, Chisel is actually going to try to find someone. Because technically this hasn't never happened to Chisel, being frightened at least.
So my question to you is, are you staying in the catacombs while you go and look for someone, or are you just doing a general search of the entire temple? Like,
well, I'm actually going to look for either Redwood or Thevin.
Okay.
Or Venkashale.
Roll me investigation with disadvantage. You are in a place that you've never been to before that is magically enchanted to become bigger the moment you step inside.
6.
You look around and you're like, you look around and you realize you are a lot farther than you initially realized from when you came in. You are deep into the catacombs here. This vision clearly, like, I think you put the pieces together that the vision, even though it was happening in your mind and for you were sitting still in the vision, you were still actively moving around in the catacombs. kind of like in a dazed state. So I don't think you really understand that you are not like
You're not in Kansas anymore.
you're not in like a place where you could just turn around and go straight back up the stairs to go back to where everybody else is.
Well, it's nice knowing everyone.
Just the resignation. But
Chisel is in a new spot. He doesn't know where he is,
is dark.
and he's currently frightened.
Is dark and he's afraid.
Hug a
He's
tree,
going
my
to
guy. Hug a tree.
Roll me
slowly curl up into a ball.
roll me another wisdom saving throw to see if you have a panic attack again. Okay,
15.
you're still okay, but you are still scared shitless.
So I am frightened and scared, correct?
You are basically frightened, yes. You are this is like a passive, like my version of like a passive frightened, where you are much more alert, so you get a bonus to your perception check, or to like your passive perception.
I'm gonna do something stupid then.
You get a +5 for your passive perception, but you do get disadvantage on intelligence saving throws and any intelligence related checks.
Well, good thing Chisel has a +2 for intelligence, but he's going to start running.
Okay.
He is currently frightened in a new spot and hoping to find someone. He is running everywhere.
Roll me a d8.
I said I was going to do something stupid.
That's not stupid. That's the worst possible thing.
You start. So you're standing in this hallway in this corridor. You see there's a couple of offshoots further in. You start running towards the northeastern. Yes, northeastern direction.
Mm-hmm.
As we have discovered, I am very bad with my cardinals.
Half our friend group is bad with cardinal directions.
How are your Blue Jays?
Not great.
Blow up the Robins.
They're kick ass, by the way.
Which one, Dick Grayson or Tim Drake?
Okay, moving on.
Crowbar guy.
Red Hood.
Damian Wade.
Anywho.
You all are... So, Chisel, you're running through, and Brian's leaving.
I was closing my door.
Oh, okay. I was like, is he just gonna get up and walk away while I'm describing what's happening here?
No, if I was doing that, I would have told you and took off my earphones.
Fair enough. You're moving through this space. You're running as quick as your little legs can carry you with your 25 feet of movement. Due to the fact that you are afraid that the shadows feel longer than there actually are, and any light that you encounter feels like a saving grace. You know, whenever you're like a little kid and it's dark out and you're lost, you're not really sure where to go, and you're just been told by like someone who's older than you to just wait for a second, they'll be back, they just need to do something really quick, and so you're incredibly uncomfortable with the idea of just standing in the dark. So you stand under a lamp, and the ring of light is kind of like a protective barrier against like the shadows.
It's just a bubble.
It's a bubble of protective light against your imaginary demons and monsters and all this other, like all the other terrifying things of the world. And for you, that's very much the case here. You're moving from torch to torch as quickly as you can, not wanting to stay in the shadows for too long and staying under the light longer, especially the more that you move through this corridor. Roll me just
Hey, Eli.
What's up?
I'm going to ready my Warhammer. If something jumps out, I am going to swing.
Okay, go ahead. You have you prep your warhammer. Roll me a general luck check, please.
That's D20 or D100?
D20. Just roll me a D20 here. All right. Now, if one of the other two chucklefucks could also roll me a D20, please.
Should Shrub roll a D20 too?
Yeah, Shrub roll me a D20 as well.
You beat me to it. It's a nat 20 on Redwood.
Shrub does not have the capacity to just roll a d20.
Just roll another D20.
Just roll
Well,
a
I
roll
roll
it
a
under
D20.
Shrub's name.
Oh
Okay.
no.
I forged Shrub's signature.
Oh no.
Okay, so.
Hey, Black!
So.
Do you have any ibuprofen?
Anyways. Redwood. You're moving through this place. At some point, Helen, you, and Theven have kind of like gone off to do your own things. So Helen left. Venkashale is with her. You two are actively like moving through this place, trying to find Chisel. Redwood, you hear the footsteps of Chisel as he's moving down through the court. Like you hear footsteps shuffling very quickly down and like past a flight of stairs onto your right, and you're like, that's a very familiar gate. That is of a running Chisel and Theven.
What's he running?
You also hear this as well.
Mm-hmm.
You decide to go down and investigate. Meanwhile, Redwood's like, wait, why is he running? But Theven, I don't think you put those two pieces together as you head downstairs. Chisel, you hear heavier sets of footsteps rounding the corner.
I unfortunately do need to make this worse.
Uh-oh.
Because of Redwood's history, it's sort of the mentality of if you hear someone running, you don't stop to ask questions, you run too.
Oh.
So I am going to run specifically the direction Chisel's going.
Okay.
Which is towards you.
So you hear a set of very quick footsteps and a set of heavy, slow-gated footsteps. Chisel, you said you were preparing your warhammer to swing on threats, right?
Yeah.
Theven, your AC is a 15, 16?
It's a 16.
It's a 16. Alright. You know what you gotta beat. Go ahead and roll the attack to hit. Oh my god. Roll me that damage. Take 8 bludgeoning damage, Theven.
Yep. Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Don't tell me you're using Frostbringer's Blessing.
It's the hammer. It's the same hammer.
Oh no.
It's just a passive on the hammer.
Okay, so 13 damage, mixture of frost and bludgeoning,
Whack.
as your kneecap suddenly takes a massive hit to it, causing your knee to bend, like, not like backwards or anything, but you know when your knee is meant to bend a specific way. When you are told to like do squats or to like do, I'm gonna use a dance reference here that's gonna make me sound really fucking weird. When you plie and dance, your your knees go out over the direction of your toes. Yeah, your knee goes a little too far out in that sort of direction. As you're so Redwood is running. Theven, you're more curious as to getting to Chisel and not necessarily sure what Redwood is doing as the glowing and the dark fox runs with him. Chisel, you're running, and then all of a sudden, Theven, you're like, hey Chisel, how's it?
What?
So, quick question, just so we have things clear. as I go to check, was there like a sense of, oh, there's probably threat, danger?
I think that you felt that something was up, but I don't think you would have felt instantly that it was danger for you, at least.
Okay, then he would probably at least have the bow out and arrow knocked. Do I want to roll to see if I shoot? Not shoot Chisel, but considering Chisel probably came out, does an arrow just go flying?
My question,
you have it taut?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have your bow, like the bowstring, taut? Do you have it drawn back?
It would have been probably slightly pulled back. This is then a question of
that would not be enough to shoot it.
Yeah, I don't think.
I know. Just letting it go is not enough to shoot it.
Right.
But that kind of reaction of like, pull back.
Go ahead. You know what? I will just roll me a straight d20 as well. I wouldn't say so. I think you would. I think you're like, you know that it's your companion running towards you, potentially for one reason or another. So I don't think your first instinct, even through the pain, is to just fire upon him.
Well, not upon him, just in a direction.
Just in general.
Yeah.
So, but I actually do think that
you've got a good trigger finger.
You've got a good trigger finger. So I think.
Yeah. I have good discipline. Despite what those two might believe, I have good discipline.
I think what ends up happening is you take that knee impact, and you actually drop your bow because, ow.
Yeah.
And it clatters to the ground. Chisel, you look up.
I'm running.
You're
I'm still running.
You swung at him, and you're still going.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep running and send a message. What are we running from? Where are we going? What's the danger?
Bloody hell!
Seven's been hit!
Shrub's like, what is going on? Go ahead. Everyone just make me a basic intelligence check, please.
I have disadvantage.
Yes, you do.
8.
Oh, that was as Redwood. I just had Shrub's name up.
Yeah. Chisel, you're still running. 7, you're like, okay, something's got Chisel freaked out, even though he just bashed my fucking knee in. Ow. I'm definitely going to be feeling that for a week. Redwood, you skid to a halt, and you're just like, wait. You're listening. You hear the sounds of water dripping from the catacombs, and that's and you smell must and decay, obviously, in this place, but you don't see or sense any immediate danger. Whatever happened to Chisel down here happened to him in a way that spooked him enough to cause him to feel in danger to run. But you don't get that sense of, we're being followed, we're being watched, we're under attack.
Oi! Redwood! Some medical attention, please!
In a second, I need to catch Chisel before he takes another kneecap out. It's just sending message after message. Stop running. Where are you going? Come back here. What are you doing? Please turn around. You hit 7.
I'm pretty sure all you hear is all caps, just screaming.
All caps.
All caps, yes.
20 exclamation points.
So, since you are trying to send a message to Chisel to get him to calm down, Chisel, I will let you roll me another wisdom saving throw with both disadvantage and advantage, so flag. So,
cancel.
17. I think you start to realize what just happened, and you're just like,
where are you going? Why are you running? You hit 7.
You hear that you hear that you hit 7 bit, and you're just like, oh shit, and you stop running.
What happened?
What happened? Shrub's like, are you good? Are you okay?
Huh?
Shrub's gonna trot on over to you, gently grab your shirt sleeve, the one that's not holding the hammer. So now you've got this torch of a fox leading you back toward the other two, and you see 7's on the ground doing the Family Guy
It's a little chilly too, so he's brushing off some frost.
Yeah, so he's got What's funny enough is it's like it hurts, but at the same time, like the cold from the cold damage is kind of making it not as bad, but it's not.
numbing the pain.
It's numbing the pain, but it's still like there. And Redwood is like standing over Seven, just trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna assess the damage here. You're back, great. So you're all reconvened back
You
here
live.
in the catacombs.
I know I'll live, but ow!
I look like that hurt.
I can remove the actual damage, but the pain will just still be there. So I'll hold on to the spell slot for a moment. You're actually about to die.
Fine.
I would say put some ice on it, but you've already got that handled.
Oh,
So
yeah,
just wrap it up with your pant leg, and maybe we'll get someone to sew up the injury. But other than that, you're fine.
Why is my nose bleeding?
Your
What
nose,
happened to me?
your nose, like, you guys, you hear Chisel ask that, and you see that he's actually got, like, a smear of, like, it's, like, still, like, there's still blood there, but you can see that he tried to, like, wipe it away.
Well, Chisel, your brain's leaking there.
What's a brain?
Oh my god.
That's internal hemorrhaging. I need some black magic stats.
It's a bunch of muscle right here on your head. All living creatures got them.
Redwood 7, roll me a medicine check for Chisel.
If I could find medicine, there's medicine.
You're still under shrub.
I had to turn to shrub for the strength check.
Seven, you look around and you're just like, something spooked him. It is a catacombs. There are, like, you know, people who were very important and stuff like that in terms of the Order of the Golden Thread and all this other stuff. You know, he probably saw something and just freaked out, like a bug or something like that.
He hasn't seen in quite a while.
Yeah. And then, Redwood, you take a look at Chisel here. You see signs of fight or flight, specifically flight on him. You see his pupils are dilated, his skin is pale, he's sweating, his hair is on end, he's got goosebumps as if he's cold. His breathing is heavy. The blood on his nose, like from his nose, is concerning, and I think you can actually also see something that he didn't, is there's actually like blood dripping out from his ears as well a little bit. Not like heavy, but there's definitely like, it's definitely like, oh. And I think you see this, and you've encountered magic before plenty of times in your life. You've been studying it. You've been trying to learn more about your circle. But I'm going to need you to roll me an Arcana check anyways, but I will let you do it with advantage because of the nat 20 on your medicine. Okay. This is definitely some sort of... Whatever happened to Chisel down here was a result of some sort of psychic spell or some sort of psychic phenomenon that resulted in damage to his mind to the point that he was afraid.
Honestly, for the Chisel, that's kind of impressive.
Right. So,
He'll be fine with rest and stuff like that, but you also know that, like, it's whatever happened to him spooked him pretty bad.
I don't think I have identified. God damn it. Oh, wait, I do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
I looked at detect magic and I thought identify was a higher level spell.
No, there's no spell.
But I do think it's important to use an identify to figure out what exactly hit him.
Does identify allow you to detect already cast spells?
You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are.
Okay.
You also
if you instead touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it.
Okay. So
curses.
So you lift your hand, a single like red thread connects between like the palm of your hand and Chisel's forehead. And you kind of take a look at him here to try and determine, you know, what could have caused this. And you look and you get specifically the fear spell. Or the first time you've ever encountered the fear spell. You know that fear forces a person to see their worst nightmare imaginable, their worst fears, and kind of forces them into kind of a scared daze. And you know that no matter which way you slice it, it's bad.
Would I also be able to recognize this is not a spell a cleric can cast?
Some clerics actually can cast it.
It depends on.
I think trickery can.
I definitely believe that it is a thing determined by the cleric's domain.
This is a bard, sorcerer, warlock, and wizard spell.
Oh, thank you.
There is not a cleric domain that gives this.
So you look at this and you're like, this is not something that a cleric can
This
cast.
is not someone in the church against us. This is someone at the church.
Right, so you're saying there's a bastard skulking around the shadows who ain't supposed to be here.
Chisel, did you see anything before you had the beating of your heart increase, the fear upon you? What happened?
It felt like I was drowning. People were dragging me. People were dragging me down.
That is the activation of the spell. Did you see anything before that? Any strange figures? Someone you talked to? Someone who tapped you on the shoulder?
No. Can
What
we go
about-
see the sun?
We
Please.
will chisel. Just one question. What about, I don't know, growing runes or anything the like? Like maybe it was a trap.
I don't know.
Well,
I
all
don't-
right.
Izzle, roll me a history
I'm
check.
tired.
Roll me a history check with disadvantage.
22. 20, not 22.
You don't recall seeing anybody down here.
Right. Let's get you up topside, eh? Get some good sunlight in your veins.
It's nighttime.
Right.
Get some good moonlight in your veins.
It is night. You guys
Get some fresh air.
you
Alright.
all
This means we have someone against us. We need to stick together. Groups of 2 at minimum.
Hey?
And
Well-
for this, yes, I'm counting Shrub as a person. You can go with whoever you feel like.
Yay! I'm my own individual.
Right. Shrub, yes you are. But honestly, I think it's better if you do stick to Redwood side. You two are linked like that.
Which also means we'd have better communication if I was separate from Shrub.
Yeah. Hey, whatever you feel like doing. I don't care. I'm basically a walking torch. I'm not concerned about it.
Hey,
And-
we love you for it.
And hearing that, Chisel's just gonna pick up Shrub.
You pick up Shrub the same way a child would with a stuffed animal. feeling
Okay.
a lot more comfortable now that she is in your hold than you did before.
Shrub is also immune to any forms of charm, frightening, or restraint.
Is
So-
she?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
Well, she can teleport out of
condition
any
immune.
restraint.
Condition immunity is to charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, and restrained.
Keep
Mix
that in
up
mind.
fire.
And, damage immunity to fire.
Mhm.
So we'll keep in groups of 2.
You guys will never
If we
believe
have-
this. I hate to
Yeah.
interrupt. I actually wrote down the head oracle's name here,
And you didn't.
and I didn't look.
You didn't look at your own notes?
I did.
You asked the note keeper.
Yes, because normally he's got me too. He's got me covered.
I'm not the note keeper, I'm the scratch pad.
Right then. So, seeing Chisel hugging Shrub like a stuffed animal. Right then, I guess that's our first pairing. That means I'm with you.
Alright. Well, we can all move together to our rooms at the current point. But I do think if Chisel was targeted tonight, Shrub should sleep with him.
Aye, fair point.
I am not sleeping tonight.
Snuggle buddies. As Shrub's like got her, like Shrub's got like the cat hold
Shrub.
going on with Chisel. So like the front paws are like hanging out like this, but the other ones are like stretched to the floor. And because Chisel is so short, her back paws are still scratching along the floor.
Shrub,
Yeah.
you have a special order. Since you are immune to charms and frightened, if someone is under an effect that is affecting their mind, you are to burn them until they wake up.
I feel like that's cruel, but okay.
We can't have any of us compromised.
What if I'm asleep?
Then wake the fuck up.
I'm not sure. I'm confused, but you know what? I'm just gonna say okay, and we're gonna move on. So you guys head on up and out. Leaving and heading out into the Golden Sanctums. Proper floors. A little bit more on edge now that you know that something is here that is messing with you. I think this is also a bit jarring because you all, like, Redwood and Seven, you two have gotten your shit kicked in physically throughout this entire sort of adventure for you two. But you've never been mentally targeted in any sort of way that could be threatening to you in your life. Chisel is he's built in a way that hits don't affect him as much as it does with you guys. He hasn't been...
For everyone at home, I have 102 HP.
He's got a lot of heft to him. He's very...
I have 59!
He is a neutron star.
I am thick with health.
So, Chisel is very much a powerhouse in terms of staying up, taking the damage, taking the hits, and dealing damage back. But whatever, so... The fact that something could spook him so badly after facing a corrupted dragon, facing undead, facing cannibals, facing creatures from places that you've never knew existed before, and then to be thrusted into something that caused him to be afraid for the first time since you've met him, beyond his family's, like, well-being, is incredibly concerning. But
I even have advantage against spells. And it still sucked.
you still got hit. But you all continue on out. And you eventually make your way out into the beautiful night sky and into the village of the Golden Sanctum proper. Quiet. It's quiet, it's dark. Say at this point it's around like 9 or so at night. It's been a good few hours since you all came into the Golden Sanctum to have dinner with the council. But now the safe haven, despite the fact that it is sacred ground, doesn't feel.
It feels fate.
It doesn't feel as safe anymore. Even though you thought, no matter what happened in the outside world, you would be safe here. But it turns out, not so much. And I think every single one of you starts to wonder, is there truly a place that would be considered safe anymore?
Mm-hmm.
And that is
Yes.
the most frightening aspect to you.
Right. Chisel, Frog, you two, you get your rest. I'll take first watch. Then, Redwood, when you finish your 4 hours, you'll take second. And I'll join you when I finish mine.
Okay.
I have an idea. So our rooms are closed off by basically pelts, right?
The way that, yeah, since there's like not necessarily like a door sort of like thing going on, they've got like the pelt covers that you push to the side. Still blocks out a good portion of the cold and the wind, and it can be pinned down just in case the weather gets really bad. But yeah, you basically have like your own sort of pelt.
And there's no
doorways.
windows in this room, correct?
There's no windows in the house in general.
Okay, I am going to pin down the I'm going to call it the flap, and then tap it with my warhammer, trying to encrust it with ice. I am sealing myself into this room.
Yeah, you tap on it to encrust it with ice. I think you pinning it down is what does the most for you. Tapping it just creates like this thin frost film that's gonna melt later. Especially since you have a fox that, is a constant heat source. But I think it's that extra layer of feeling safe that kind of does it more than actually the effectiveness of it. So you put it down.
Chisel is going to curl up on the bed and promptly pass out.
You fall asleep. Chisel starts his rest. Shrub stays close by to provide you both warmth and a feeling of comfort and protection. Kind of like when you're a big dog that's trained to be a protector of like you and your household and stuff like that. And when you like feel nervous about something, you feel uncomfortable for some reason, and they just kind of know, and so they just kind of put themselves on you to make you feel better and to make you feel safer. That's kind of what's happening here.
I'm gonna say halfway through Chisel's rest, he's just gonna reach out, almost manhandling Shrub, and bring her closer.
Everyone just like, Seven, you're doing your watch, and all of a sudden you just hear, and like a really high pitched squeak from Shrub, and you're just like, oh, there it is.
Danger.
That's interesting. So, since I now have the lycanthrope form, the wolf form, I assume that also comes with the senses. So I was thinking is changing into that form and using the form's heightened senses to keep a lookout. Is there any strange hearing or smell?
I think your heightened sense, like, I don't think you need to be in that form for your senses to be a little bit more on the heightened side of things. It's definitely not as strong, but you definitely have a wider range of, like, perception and focus whenever you're specifically using
like
senses.
+2 to your passive or something.
Yeah, you definitely have an increase there. But you...
Yes, so yeah, doing the best I possibly can do.
Yeah, so go ahead, roll me perception.
I should have asked this before, but was that with advantage, or do you give any other bonuses?
No advantage, but you do have that, as Shizzle said, +2 to your roll there.
Okay, 17, 19.
19.
Then.
You listen, you pay attention to the smells of this place. You pay attention to the sounds of this place, to the sights, to the general feel. There's definitely a charge in the air. A kind of charge that makes your hair stand on the back of, stand on end. But it's the best way that you can describe it for yourself as a hunter. It's like a prey that knows it's being watched, but the predator hasn't made a move yet.
Now here's a question. Does he get the feeling that he's the prey, or just
A general
somewhere
sense.
else is prey and you're just feeling it?
Somewhere, something else. It's like a overall feeling. Kind of like
There's a predator out there on the hunt, but I am not particularly in its sights.
correct.
Okay.
And then 7, eventually Redwood wakes up after his 4 hours. You two
7 absentmindedly
elves.
goes to wake him up, forgetting to transform back. Oi.
Oh.
Stupid elves and their 4-hour trances.
You see a towering lycanthrope standing over top of you with glowing eyes and a bit of drool as he stands there. He's like, "Wake up!"
I made breakfast.
Hi?
You know this is
Hey.
7, but it's still really jarring to wake up in the middle of the night when it's completely pitch black in your room to see this big hulking form in the shadows.
Just like a wolf turn the
Your fur
corner.
is showing.
Hey. Oh yeah. Transforms back.
Can we not name it that?
You transform back. Redwood, you step outside. You know that 7 was clear. You can clearly tell that what 7 was doing is he was using his senses from his other form to become more aware of his surroundings. Whether you wish to do something that does allow something similar for you, you may. I don't know if you have anything like that, like an enhance ability spell or anything like that, but...
I'm checking if I can ritual cast detect magic. Yeah.
You should be able
I'm-
to.
It's a visit.
I wasn't sure. I'm just going to... I don't think I have enhanced ability. No. But I do have that detect magic, and I can ritual cast it. So I'm just constantly keeping that up. Watching the halls, watching the rooms, looking for anything that glows.
Okay. Now, really quickly, this is a ground that is concentrated by divine magic because it was blessed by the gods. So
Flashbang!
so every single time you were doing this, every 10 minutes, or however long it takes to cast, how long does detect magic last for?
I think it's now.
Detect magic lasts 10 minutes and takes 10 minutes to ritual cast. So it is a constant up.
So you're constantly putting it up, but
I'm staring at the sun.
You're constantly getting, I'm starting to, you're gonna, at some point in the night, you're like, I'm concerned for my retinas because this hurts.
Can I use this
Can you use what?
for study? I am exposing myself to divine magic for 4 hours straight. Can I try to glean anything from this?
Roll me Arcana. And tell me exactly what you're trying to...
Can I get a bonus for burning my retinas?
No, you cannot get a bonus for burning your retinas with magical flashbangs.
Arcana.
What are you trying to glean?
What I'm looking... Well, the magic of the consecration itself. If I don't know if I can learn consecrate. Um, it helps if I spell it correctly.
It would help if you spelled it correctly.
Oh, that's not a 5th edition spell.
Nope.
That's Pathfinder.
We're not playing Pathfinder. We're playing D&D.
But I just want to know if this is something I can learn to do. Even if it's not to specifically consecration, but some sort of abjuration protective magic over an area. Learn how it works. Learn the areas. Learn some of the symbols if I can. Just learn the patterns so I can replicate this.
You reach in.
If not the holy, but, some arcane copy.
You reach in. And you look. You're constantly between. I think it's a little difficult because you're constantly flashbanging yourself with this detect magic every, 10 minutes. So it's like...
Oh no, it's not every 10 minutes. By the time the spell is about to end is when the ritual picks up. So it is 4 hours straight.
It's constantly.
It's constant flashbang. It's not just the ground itself.
Hey ho, it's Requise.
It's not just the ground itself that is concentrated with this holy divine magic. It is the temple, it is the plants, it is the surrounding cliffs and jagged rocks. Everything here... you are basically looking at, the same thing as when your computer screen goes white and you're just staring at it for a bit with, very faint outlines.
Whenever you open your phone up at, 3 a.m., just...
And you're just like, ugh! You're looking at this. This isn't, a cleric casting a spell with magic given to them by the gods. This is a god having a hand in crafting and making and transforming the land through their direct influence of magic. And as a result, it is incredibly incomprehensible to you. It is beautiful, and so long as you're ignoring the fact that it is burning your retinas alive. But it's a swirl of divinity and otherworldliness and the things that make a god a god. A portion of them, a very, very small portion of who they are, put here to keep this land safe after the first revision. Even this little bit just is so strong and so heavy. It's like when you're an ant and suddenly a single drop from a water hose feels like an absolute tsunami with where you're standing. But to you, as a human, the water drop is just so insignificant. But for you, you look at this, and the first thing, and you're like, maybe I can glean more to this than just it being divine and being magic of the gods. Maybe I can replicate it. Or maybe I can find a way to do so. And you look at this and you're like, the only way I could do that is if I was a god myself. And you're not. You're mortal. And that's when you realize that the gods, even though they're not allowed a certain amount of access into the human world, into the mortal world, and interacting with the mortal coil, they have an abundance of power. Is there anything else you would like?
I don't know. I think he just stares at the magic that's beyond him. And I think he wonders if he could dare to ask. Maybe he could, well, he's a champion. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to ask if he could get something more. But not right now. Right now is silence and blinding fucking light.
The sun, in the middle of the night.
Redwood sits in his, to him, brightly lit corridor, looking for anything different than the white.
You look for anything different in the white. And for the entire time that you are awake, taking watch, you see nothing. Morning eventually comes. And Chisel, due to the fact that you had passed out first and foremost compared to your companions, you were the first one awake.
This never happens. Where am I? Who am I?
You're up. You're up like a little bit after sunrise. It feels really weird.
There's the wet morning dew on the grass. The smell.
I need to ask how that's possible if I've been up for the past 4 hours.
You've been up, but like compared to like Shrub and Seven, he is the first awake. You've just been awake. He is up and awake.
What happened? Who am I?
You sit there for a minute and you're just like, did that spell fuck me up that bad that I am no longer adhering to my own personal sleep schedule of 14 hours a day?
12, excuse me.
But still, it feels oddly good. You definitely got the rest that you needed. Despite how tense everything has been.
I have a question.
What do you got?
Where is Shrub? Like, is she laying on top of me?
Shrub is kind of like half underneath you. You know, like when you're holding a stuffed animal and like during the night, eventually it just kind of gets like squished under your body at some point, slightly as you like.
And somehow, from sleeping on your back, you're somehow on your stomach, and just don't know how it happens.
Your legs are tangled up in the blankets, so like one is over your head and the other one is sticking out at like a really weird angle, and you're just like, how does that work? But it's one of those types of sleeps where that happens, but you wake up and you feel so good. Like it's one of the best sleeps that you've had.
What are these lines on my arms and face? I need to go see Redwood. I may be sick.
You wake up. Shrub is... Do you wake up Shrub or do you let her sleep?
I am going to wake up I am going to let Shrub sleep until I come back. Okay. And then I'm going to do the brotherly thing and push her off the bed.
So you go out and you see Redwood. Redwood has been looking at bright, blinding magic for 4 hours straight. His eyes are crossed. His eyes have crossed, and you're like looking at him, and you're just like,
"Is that what happens when you do magic? Let's not bother him."
I think Redwood is completely blank-faced because he is absolutely zoned out looking at the magic. And yeah, his eyes are crossed and his expression is blank and he's just watching. I think he sees the shimmer of Chisel's magic walk by, but he doesn't pay attention.
Yeah, it's
He's
like
failed his duty of watching.
you're
I don't think I want magic if that's what happens.
it's like when you're doing something in like a game or something for a very long time and your eyes just like you don't even realize it as your eyes are crossing because you've been staring at your screen for so long until someone's like, "Hey, you good? Your eyes are not supposed to do that."
You just forget to blink.
You forget what existing is outside of your screen. But you go back, you push Shrub. There's like the weird thing when like an animal like you drop it and it's like tries to land on its feet but it can't, so it just like does a weird worm wiggle. And she like does that for a moment and then goes, "What happened?"
Something's wrong with Redwood. His eyes are crossed and he doesn't see me. Is this what happens when you use magic?
Not Hold on, let me take a look. And she trots outside, she sees Redwood doing it and goes, "Boss!
Shrub. Morning.
Good morning, it's daylight. Are you okay? What happened?"
I can't see.
"That's not good."
Do you need my headband?
I think
I just need a minute.
Shrub reaches into your pack. Traveling in the greenlit hills at wintertime is kind of the same as traveling through Antarctica during winter. So she gives you like something that you personally had traded for on your travels at one point after the first like couple of weeks of your first traveling winter. And I don't exactly remember what they're called, but they're like these Arctic
Sun blindness glasses.
Yeah, sun blindness glasses. Thank you. And she hands them to you because the sun is decently high in the sky. She hands them to you to help with your vision. Goes, "Is that better?"
No, now I can just see less.
Oh, well.
Sun blindness glasses are meant for when you're facing the Arctic, so you're not seeing as much of the sun. It does not help after the fact.
I don't think Shrub knows this, so she's just like, "Well, I tried," and then just walks away.
As Shrub walks away, Devin comes out, yawning.
Wait, am I the first one up? Am I the first one up? Did I wake up first?
Technically, I've been awake. And Fevin, these are my snowblind glasses. Shrub thought it'd be a good idea. Obviously, she was wrong.
Shrub is like, "Hey! Shut up!"
Everything's so weird.
What caused your eyes to do that, though? Like, what?
I don't have Fevin's extra senses and tracking ability, so I thought I'd track stuff magically. And we're in an area that is flooded with magic.
Yeah,
So you blinded yourself.
And you did that for 4 hours?
Right. 4 hours, yes. I tried to learn something, but apparently the gods, their magic capacity is like a bucket compared to a thimble.
Hey.
What's
So
a
what
thimble?
you're also saying is that you slacked on your job.
What's a bucket and what's
no.
a thimble?
Shrub, you've seen a bucket, and the thimble is like a very small, like fits in the tip of your finger.
Thimbles
The fuck you say, what's a bucket?
There's no thimbles in this world, Casey. There's no metalworking proper in
If there
this
is
world.
sewing, there is a thimble. It doesn't have to be metal.
It could be a wood thimble.
Just not flesh.
Excuse me, I do research.
What's a bucket?
It's this as I
The
put one
fuck?
over Chisel's head.
I hope this isn't the
He's
bucket.
never seen them before. Stop that.
I hope this wasn't in the what was the room called? Latrine? That would suck.
I picked it up from the neighbor's
Those-
yard.
Those are holes in the ground, aren't they, though?
Either way, the spell that's cast in this place is not something I'd be able to cast in millions of years.
Is it that heavy concentrated?
He's also not a cleric.
Imagine the difference between the attack from a mouse versus the attack from a bear.
Hey, that's a
The
big
bear is
difference.
much bigger and much more powerful and can deliver the same weight of a mouse with not even the same amount of force. He would
But
not have
what-
to try, and he could do greater things than the mouse could ever do.
But
We
if
are
the mouse
mice.
wasn't alone, if the mouse
would
was
take-
many,
It would take a lot of mice. This is not something I could achieve.
Moving on. I mean, that kind of makes a lot of sense, though. It explains why I feel so nice while we're here, though.
Honestly, speak for yourself.
it's nice. It's nice
When-
and quiet.
When Shrub says this, Redwood, roll me Arcana.
I mean, I kind of get it, but Redwood doesn't.
You're like,
Why
okay.
am I an idiot?
You're
Still learning about magic.
It's not that you're an idiot. I think what ends up happening is your brain is still trying to force your eyes back into normal focus again after blinding yourself for 4 hours straight. So you're just like, okay, yeah, that's just a
Yeah,
weird
cool.
Shrub thing. Cool.
That tracks.
Anywho, I think we do our best thinking with full bellies. He kind of sniffs the air, smells the fresh smell of bread from the bakery. Breakfast. As Devin points to the scent and starts walking.
Just doing like the cartoon lifting, like following the smell trail.
I can't smell anything. What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Shrub is like,
I'm still
"Ooh."
kind of.
Shrub also like follows Stev and goes, I smell it too! And you realize that this is some sort of animalistic thing that the two of them have as they both walk off to the bakery.
Is this a
Devin
magic
is
thing?
Full animal. This is not a magic thing. This is a Devin is weird thing.
Devin,
We should probably stop letting Devin and Shrubs spend so much time together then.
Devin,
I don't think they spend that much time together.
you and Shrub walk together following the scent trail of freshly baked goods from the house. This house is different and in terms of like build. All the other houses are like made of wood with like these thatched roofings and things like that. This one is like a hodgepodge of stone brick and like sandstone and wood. It's very clear that this place was made because there's a lot of fire going on, and wood and fire don't mix. So, and you see from this, you see a tall, like, chimney smokestack billowing with smoke from a flame that's clearly baking something because the smell is trailing out from it, and the flap for the main like place to get the food and things is open. This is clearly more of a place where people can simply come in and request certain baked goods without needing to do trade like you would expect with normal villages, because everyone shares here. This is a small, tight-knit community. Why would we need to worry about trade when we handle everything ourselves? But you enter, and you are hit with the smell of sweet dough and all these other like fruits and other things being mixed into everything else. And it's
too sweet.
Heaven for you. It's
too sweet.
Heaven for you.
Just his mouth drooling under his mask. Probably so much that I actually see some dampness on the outside of it.
Redwood?
Why does the air taste like honey?
You step into this. You all step into this place. You hear the sounds of like stone, like things being moved and shifted, wood utensils being used, in a room that's covered by like a thin pelt from keeping like viewers from seeing what's going on, to prevent them from seeing the potential mess of baking so many things all at once. And you hear a feminine voice go, "Just a moment," as
Allowing.
you hear, like, she heard you come in. She heard the scuffle of shoes against, like, the stone of the floor and stuff. And eventually, out from behind this flap, a young sort of orc girl comes out, and accompanied, and, like, you see very briefly, like, an older, like, orc man, large tusks on him, salt and pepper hair that's kind of got, like, that very big, like, bald spot on the top of the head, so it's like a band around, patchy work beard, but she herself, she looks like she's not as stocky as her father. She's still got, like, the orc features and stuff. And I think this is the first time that you can properly say that this is your first time meeting a half race. Because you also...
I would say the first time we've met an orc, too.
Well, me and Redwood traveled a lot before the story officially kicked off, so we can say we've seen orcs interact with them.
But this is everyone's first time encountering a half race. You see that she is actually a mixture of elf and orc. You see that she has pointier than normal ears. Her features are definitely a little bit more sharp, like smoother and less like bulkier than a typical orc's. Her tusks are smaller. You also see like this elfin woman in the kitchen with the older man, and it's very clear that, you know, she probably lived some decently comfortable life, the elven woman, before coming out here, because she is attempting to help bake, but is mostly just kind of watching the other two do it.
just holding ingredients.
Like when your mom asks you to help bake, but in all she's actually doing is asking you to go to and from the fridge or something like that to go and get it. But the girl comes out, her hair's tied back with a leather cord, and she goes, "Oh, hello. You must be the three guests from outside. It's a pleasure to meet
nice
you."
to meet you.
Allowing.
Oh, sugar bread. Stat, please, and thank you.
Well, he knows some manners. That's surprising.
Nuntius warned us last night that you would be stopping by. As she goes over to this woven long reed basket and pulls it out and sets it on the counter, and it is piled high with not just the standard sugar breads, but with some sugar breads with extra ingredients that you've never seen before. There's fruits and like a custard and all this other things stacked in with the rest of it, like dried fruits and things like that. And she's like, I heard that you've only had like the standard stuff before, but we are well known within our village for adding a little bit of extra ingredients and trying some things out, so feel free to take whatever you feel like.
Devin's eyes wide. It's like, alright, calm down, Devin boy, calm down. Okay, start with the basics. How do they taste? As Devin puts in, I imagine with the heightened senses also means heightened tastes. So now just a rush of new flavors.
Yeah, you're used to, like, there's like a common recipe. Obviously, it's like whenever there's like always a difference in baking between one person and the other that you can like taste. This is a blast of flavor, strong, not just standard sugar, but like brown sugar and honey and the butter and everything else that you just taste all at once, and it's delicious. And it is probably the best sugar bread that you've ever had before.
I imagine it's a minor like sugar food coma as Steven's eyes roll back of his head, drool coming down as he goes, "Oh," and then immediately snaps out of it and starts gobbling it.
We need to get to like talking to more people.
The young girl looks to you two, Chisel and Redwood. Would you two like anything as well? Are you two hungry?
You said you experiment with stuff. There was this food I found a while ago. It was in the Green Hills. I don't know if you'd have it. Um, there was a type of pepper they had to stuff. It made very, very strong taste. Do you make anything spiced?
Sure. She, what exactly are you asking for here, Casey?
Hot peppers, jalapeno, something spicy.
You want spicy. Okay. She hears that you want spicy and she goes, I can definitely make you something. Do you want
Most people make comfort foods in other places, but as soon as he heard, like, oh, we experiment with new stuff, it's like, please tell me you have peppers.
and she looks to you, Chisel, and goes, do you want anything, sir?
Well, I don't know actually. Um,
We're willing to.
Sugar bread, too sweet. I don't know about the whatever he's asking for.
We've got some standard. We've got some berry breads as well. We've got like soft berry breads.
I can't have blueberries.
You can't have blueberry. We have strawberry, raspberry.
Any mushroom bread?
Yes, actually, we just made a fresh loaf this morning.
Ooh.
And she.
I ran out.
She nods in understanding. She goes back and grabs. Seven, you're busy like gobbling down the various sugar bread types in front of you. She goes to the back once again, and you kind of see there's like a very brief moment where you see like like a really interestingly timed like it's like the wife dropped something, and it's very clear because she's now got white powder all over the front of her tunic and kind of on her face. And it's very clear that this is a regular occurrence because the daughter just kind of hands the mother like a cloth to use to wipe her face and clean her up a bit. And the half-orc girl then comes back a few moments later, hands you, Chisel, a full loaf of mushroom bread. And you're welcome. And hands you, Redwood, it's clearly like a kind of sandwich. It's like got bread, but there's spicy peppers, like the kind that you had seen the one time that you were able to get it so long ago, along with various meats and cheese and other things mixed into it to create this delicious, like, sort of spicy sandwich. And then she also bends down and gives Shrub a several strips of bacon for her for the morning. Shrub is still a little chubby after her time in the mountains, so
I do not feel sorry about that.
So she is grateful. We have. I apologize. We've asked many things of you, but we did not. I did not catch your name.
Oh, I am Elena. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Helena. Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm sure you heard from our friend. But I'm Redwood. That is Chisel, and the one covered in bread is Thevin.
The snarling one is Thevin.
Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
She nods and goes, well, I'm glad that you're enjoying the breads. Let us know if you have any favorites that we can give to you for when you leave. I don't know how long you all intend on staying, but...
We do not know either. We're sort of moving place to place, sort of a quest.
You're right, you guys, you're the ones that are also investigating the blight with Venka Shale, right?
Yes. It's interesting so far.
I've never left the area of the Golden Sanctum before. I've always wanted to. It's just, with the blight going on and everything, it's just not safe.
Well, hopefully we'll see an end to it soon. and I should hope you do get to see it. It is interesting. I can't say it's all wonderful.
Roll me.
It's interesting.
Roll me. Just a.
Charisma check?
No, not charisma. I'm trying to think. Roll me insight. Just like a general insight. Anyone who wants to.
And 1 second. Baru?
Alright. Chisel. I'm going to describe this to you in a sentence that will make a lot of sense. There is no war in Bossing Say. Basically, you get the vibe that this area, as beautiful and as protected as it is, does not see as much contact with the outside world. So you guys are somewhat of a novelty to Elena. Not because of your race, but because of the fact that you come from the outside. But she looks to all of you and goes, is there anything else that you may need for...
Seven putting down most like the large plate that has stacked everything in his lycanthropy form, just unknowingly licking it as he puts it down. 10 more to go! Of everything!
Roll me an intimidation check.
From me, no, thank you. This will last a month.
15 on your intimidation. Hold on. Okay. Elena looks to you, and I think there's a moment where it's like when a dog, or a cat sees a spray bottle and knows that they're in trouble and just instinctively kind of does like this, like the flinch back. That's you when she just looks at you. She may be kind, she may have gotten you all this stuff, but it's a lot of hard work, especially in a place where it's they already have to focus on not only cooking this, but growing everything. Show some fucking respect.
And honestly, Thevin has no idea he's currently in his lycanthropy nor how he sounds. So he's like, okay, rude.
Strub just kind of grabs your pant leg and goes, You're a little bit more fang than usual, buddy.
Ah.
Your fur is showing.
Your fur is showing.
Transforms back.
I can offer magic in trade. I know my companion. Well, no, Chisel doesn't ask a lot. Evan does.
Don't worry about it. It's kind of what my family and I do as our part of the village. The village shares everything here.
And I can increase the plant growth if that means faster crops and helping along.
Oh, could you?
I know this area. Yes, I can. I know druids are a rarer occurrence, especially up in here.
That would that would be fantastic. We've actually been having some trouble with our crops recently. I think it's the soil's a little too dry. When winter hits, the everything, even though we have our own bubble with everything that keeps us, warm and safe from even the weather outside, it's the ground becomes hard and it's still cold after a certain bit, so roots don't really get to very far in the ground, and then all this other stuff. So I can show you where all the crops are if you want to go and take a look at them.
It would make me feel better for stuff we ask. I realize that the Sanctum has its own rules, but we have our own when moving around.
She nods. Clearly with a look of appreciation as she steps out from behind this sort of stone counter that's been carved into the carved from the into the building, and leads you out.
What can I do?
I was told that you're very good with your hands. We have some, there's some, like, there's someone in the village, I can't remember who it was, that needs, that wanted some of their, like, own personal wards redone and, like, recarved, on their home. You crack your knuckles and get to it? Alright.
Crack my knuckles, crack my elbows, even my wrists, just... Okay.
So, she kind of, like... She goes, I believe it was... I think it was Old Man James down over in the corner. And she kind of just, like, gestures to, like, another stone house further down. He helps make the tools of the village and stuff like that, so... but he's
Okay.
he's a very interesting individual. One might say eccentric.
I will be back.
Shrub is like, I'm coming with you!
Okay!
And the two Chaos Gremlins walk off to go and help an old man.
With very dangerous and probably explosive runes. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, so you walk off. Redwood, you were led by Alana to the crops. Because they grow everything themselves here, there isn't just, like, crops of wheat or crops of, like, berry bushes and vegetables and fruits. There are fruit trees and...
They
They
have cultivation.
They have... Like, the first thing that you notice is that everyone in the village, because of the way that the village functions, everyone participates for something or other. There is a large sect of people within this village that are mainly farmers. Like, their job is to plant and to harvest the crops and keep an eye on them and tend to them and stuff like that.
They have cultivation before metalworking.
I mean, yeah.
A lot of places did.
This is interesting. I can give a temporary boost for up to a year, but you know, if you're having difficulty with plant growth, besides magic, I did grow up with nature, and I know a few tips and tricks. You can add things like bone meal or blood meal to earth to make it grow a little bit more, eggshells, basic things that would be thrown away or removed from animals.
We don't... See, we don't have many hunters. We have a very... The village and everything... People don't necessarily leave the village all that much, even for things like hunting. So a lot of our food is mainly, like, any meat that we do get, it's found really close to the village itself, so we're never really too far from the border.
There's your problem. All these people, all these jobs, no one can stick up rabbits.
I mean,
Yeah.
you seem like a decent hunter. Would you be willing to teach some people?
Hey, I can teach them some tricks here and there.
I don't know how much we'd be allowed to change civilization, but I can say with what animals do come in, if you grind up bones, you should be able to sprinkle them into soil to help rejuvenate plants in a more natural way. But for the time being, well, Redwood's going to, like, scoot a pile of dirt, make a little hole, sort of sit down. I guess I've got something to do all day.
Hey, Mom, so you round up whoever think they have the stomach it takes to be a hunter, and I'll get some supplies and everything and teach them a thing or two.
Okay, sorry, what did I miss? I was taking my hoodie off. It's really
Oh.
warm.
Then I'll repeat myself. Hey, Mom, so round up whoever has the stomach it takes to be a hunter, and I'll teach them what for. I'll round up some supplies that they could use.
Okay, yeah, I'll spread the word.
The look on Casey's face.
Don't be surprised if a lot more are squeamish than you anticipated.
Ah. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Redwood gets the feeling that we are kind of intruding a lot. We're basically telling an entire civilization they're doing their civilization wrong.
I mean, we're not telling them to change anything what they're currently doing. We're teaching them how to make it better and giving them new ways to survive.
I'm not
That's
doing
like
that.
telling a civilization how to civilization.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm just sitting in the dirt.
We're gonna go ahead and see how many people show up for Seven's Slaughter Time Funhouse.
Roll
Roll a d12 with disadvantage.
Roll a d12 minus 10.
You actually get a decent amount of people. You get 30.
Oh.
You get 30 people showing up.
30?
He gets 30 people.
Hey, this will be a good way to start off.
Right. Let's quickly see how many of these 30 are squeamish.
22.
30.
14 of them are squeamish. All to varying degrees. They're pushing past this as much as they can as you show them how to properly skin an animal, how to gut it, how to remove bone and stuff like that.
Thing is, that was going to teach him how he was taught, which is hands-on training. Alright, so, everyone grab a bow, grab a quiver with arrows, grab some rope, grab these wooden sticks over here. I'm going to teach you how to make some traps, and we're going to the wilderness. We'll be back in a few days. Now, come on!
Wait, Alana is like watching from the side and goes, "Wait, I don't think that was part of the plan."
Avenger!
I told you we were going to teach them. We're teaching them.
So you.
And the problem is, none of the rest of the party knows about this.
Yeah, no one knows that Seven is up taking like 30 people up and leaving the village to go outside of the sanctuary of the Golden Sanctum.
Well, to be fair, since he's talking to 30 people at once, he is up on a rock yelling so all 30 will hear him. So word can easily make back to the rest.
Redwood sitting in the dirt, doing magic, not paying attention.
Suddenly, you get your shiver down your spine, like
I sense a disturbance in the force.
Sense the disturbance in the potatoes.
Sense a disturbance with the potatoes.
And it's not chisel or shrub.
Chisel actually hasn't caused that much problems in terms of the campaign, so.
It's disconcerting because I'm usually the one that causes problems.
But moving on. We're gonna skip ahead a few days. Things have been oddly quiet ever since that interaction within the catacombs. Ellen and Venkashale and Nuntius, 9 of them have attempted to reach out and contact you since that day. All probably busy with their own things. Venkashale, healing the sick. Helen doesn't live here. She visits, so she's probably traveling to and fro constantly. Nuntius has his own duties as an oracle that he has to attend to regularly. 4th day finally arrives. And you get a sort of like a tap of a wooden staff against the wood of the home. It's late in the evening. Sun is beginning to set. And you hear Nuntius's voice from outside go, you all home? Are you back? From your sudden 30-person hunt.
I have a question, Eli.
Shoot.
Would you think Chisel would be a little on edge, especially after basically being frightened by magic? Or would he
I think
push it aside.
it would be like kind of on edge where you're a little more cautious, but I don't think you're jumpy, if that's what you're trying to ask here.
Okay,
Were you gonna
was
throw
gonna
a
see if-
chisel in the wall again?
I was gonna see if we had a repeat of last time.
No repeats.
But Chisel does set down the chisel after rune carving and walks to the entranceway. I'm here. I don't know where Redwood or Thevin is.
Emma, I think because Thevin's been gone, our buddy system is kind of wonky. Redwood is kept shrub with Chisel, and I think Redwood's just sort of been spending time in the kitchen. He's been working with Ellen, and well, he's getting himself a job while he's here.
Probably like about this morning. If I assume the audio can be trusted, it's currently raining.
It's a light drizzle.
Yeah. So Thevin is returning with a 30-man party with whatever we could have caught. You see a lot of people are wounded, some people have bandages, some are still a little bloody, a little dirty. Most are exhausted, kind of like they've been through a 2-day ruck march through the wilderness.
Because
And
they have
absolutely terrified.
a lot of...
There's probably 1 or 2 people on stretchers, but we got a lot of stuff. And meanwhile, Thevin just leading the charge, standing up straight, chest out, just kind of like, this feels nice, hunting with the party again.
Nuntius sees this parade of people of like exhausted and somewhat injured. I don't think they would be like severely injured to the point of stretchers, but there's definitely like several bandaged individuals, and like all of them are tired, and you know, they all.
There's Thevin.
Nuntius sees this and goes, "What?"
It's
Thevin walks
Thevin.
up.
What do you think he did?
He looks to you, Thevin, and goes, "Did you just take 30 people who have no experience with hunting out into the wilderness past the Golden Sanctum?"
Before you get to my ass, they volunteered, and it's how I was told. And I was like a child, like probably 10 years out of the womb when I first went hunting.
But that's part of your village's culture. It is not part of ours.
Better late than never, I say.
Not the aura of
Redwood
vitality.
sees all the injured, and those who are having conversation, Redwood dusts himself off, getting flour off of his shirt. Slaps his hands together, and he starts casting magic to heal people.
And there's Redwood. He's been busy. How was your date?
Speaking of Redwood, if you could please roll me a charisma check.
Yeah.
How was your date?
It's not a date.
It's
We're just learning. She was teaching me how to make bread.
It's been a good like 4 or so days again. You've been spending a lot of time with Elena in the kitchen.
She's just teaching me how to make bread. It's important for the party I know how to make something besides good berry.
And
Housewife.
roll me an insight check, Chisel.
I'm good at insight. I have a +4.
But you only got an 11.
Mhm. Hey, it's better than that one. Just.
Thank you. So Redwood, are you growing attached to Elena in that way or no? She's been nothing
I don't know if he lets himself actually have a relationship, but I do think he finds himself comfortable there. And he's just, well, working in the kitchen, being friends, being close, and he doesn't let anything happen because he knows he has to leave, but...
Hey, Shrub, has this happened before?
No.
The adventure's over, Redwood somehow survives, he just becomes a baker.
I think, Redwood, that you, in your 4 days that you spend with Elena, she's gotten attached just a little bit. You can tell.
I never knew he would be into strong women. Oh well.
What are we talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, alright. I got
Are
some
you
skinning
kidding?
to do
Scared guy
anyway.
into strong women? Yes.
Seven, before you march off to go and help the others with skinning and stuff like that, Nuntius grabs your
He
Nuntius
grabs the ear.
grabs your ear and goes,
That pointy!
1, I'm still gonna scold you later. 2, Ellen has returned from being in the village.
There's a lot of ELLEs here.
2. The other one's Omide.
Anyways. She's returned. She and Venkashali both agreed that maybe it's time to take a look at the body that was brought in a few days ago. If you are all prepared and things like that.
Alright, fine. Devin calls up to the group. Oi, Orville! You were the best at the skinning and prepping. You lead them.
What?
Where?
The skinning! I have business! You show them the skinning!
Okay.
Where?
He just says
Where's
that's
the body? Just where's the body?
where we typically keep them, in the catacombs. I believe I told you this the last time you were
Nope.
here.
Nope, 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 nope.
Shrub immediately grabs your shirt sleeve and is just like, alright, come on, bud.
No.
We're moving.
Chisel, the best way to get over your fears is to face them head on.
No, 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 not going there.
Come on, the Redwood does it every day.
Nope,
I
nope,
told-
nope, nope, nope,
What?
nope, 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 nope. Just nope, 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 nope. Chisel's physically dragging his feet. Just nope. Nah.
Even though we can literally
Go.
pick you up by your armpits and just carry you.
Oh,
I'd
no.
like to see you try. I have 84 pounds in my backpack.
Anyone who would like to, roll me a strength check to see if you can pick up Chisel.
Can I? What do I roll?
Okay.
No, wait, I'm not willing. Hold on.
Just because it'd be funny.
I can make a con save.
Go
He
ahead.
is a constitutional boy.
Go ahead.
That's a failure.
I'm gonna use Indomitable. Modify 20. I refuse.
So then that's 16 in strength.
And that's what? A strength save against me?
I mean, if you're resisting,
I am not going into the catacombs without a fight.
I would like Shrub, since she's trying to drag Chisel, if you could roll her strength. Ooh, alright. She is not getting far.
All right. Chisel, if you go with us, I'll tell you what happened last night.
Motherfucker, don't do this.
That's why you were late for dinner. Deal. And Chisel physically picks up Shrub and starts marching.
Devin just kind of looking. Chisel now being willfully going. It's like, hey, wait, what's going on?
He lost something and I want to hear about it.
All right, then as long as you're going.
Casey's typing something and he's sending it to me. I'm
Yeah.
It is just the most in detail, steamy fanfic ever. Casey's been sitting on this for a while. He's just copy pasting it right into a DM.
I'm gonna be forced to read this later and just be like, oh my god.
He's been cooking on this in more ways than one.
Anyways. Oh my god. You all go into the temple proper. You're led into the catacombs. Specifically an area of the catacombs that has been sort of fitted into like a makeshift dungeon. Because the blight is unpredictable. No one really knows what could happen. You don't know if you could be transformed into a monster. You don't know if you could become undead. So they wanted to take precaution.
Oh, we lost Brian.
Huh. Chisel walk past the threshold and fucking die.
He just gets blipped out of reality.
What happened?
Discord updated.
Oh.
We joked that you passed the threshold and died because of the information Redwood sends you.
You all enter this space on a stone sort of like pedestal slab, carved with various religious iconography of the various gods, specifically of the god of death, is a body. The body in specific has a deep stab through its chest, just like a little bit below the collarbone. Whoever the person was that defended themselves had to strike quickly, so it's a little messy, but it did the job of the attack. The skin is pale. The eyes are bloodshot. Completely consumed. The irises black with their pupils. Jagged, broken teeth in the mouth. Patches of missing hair on the head. But you can tell that the person this used to be was pretty young. How young, you can't say, but it was definitely a younger individual. Clawed. The nails have become on both the hands and feet clawed a little bit, and along the paleness of the skin is these like purple, faded purple vein lines that you can see on them. Helen is standing over the body, kind of just generally taking a once-over at it. Venkashale is more standing off to the side, leaning against the wall, staff in hand, doing a quick sort of protective spell ritual of the area, since there's now more people, and even though this place is heavily concentrated with divine magic to prevent any sort of outside influence, it's still like a precautionary measure as he's like focused and muttering his prayer and his spell and stuff like that. Nuntius gestures for you all to enter and just kind of stands there and off to the corner sits down on like a singular wooden stool, leaning against the wall. I think at this point you've noticed that Nuntius has begun to walk with a limp. For one reason or another.
The chisel knock you too?
Huh? Oh, no. There was the hunters and I when we had left Emmanuel. We were attacked. And I unfortunately sustained an injury. But I'm fine. Walking is a bit difficult and I tire a little bit more easily than I used to, but... He just kind of sits there and lets you guys do your thing. So, what's everyone doing here? You got a body on a stone slab in the middle of this room with a Earth Genasi wizard standing over it, taking a look at it, just kind of...
Well, Chisel is going to sit next to Nuntius because he can't do anything.
You sit down next to Nuntius.
Devin walks up to her, like, alright, you done just looking at her?
We'll touch. Don't touch. I'm going to check something really quickly.
Alright,
Never
fine.
is going
Do
to-
the thing.
He's going to quickly cast and identify to see if there's any curses that could affect us upon touching the target.
You cast Identify on the corpse here. You don't sense any curses, but you do feel that thread of necromantic magic. But it's too thin for you to follow it to a source. It's too weak. The body's been here for a while.
It's too weak to identify.
It's too weak to identify. A curse would have a would be cast in a way that would have a much longer and stronger effect. Whatever spell was cast upon this was clearly a long while ago, and is faint enough that attempting to identify or find its source is going to be a incredibly difficult endeavor.
All right. It's safe to touch.
Alright.
Let's investigate.
Devin starts investigating for the similar wound that he and the dragon has.
You investigate. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. You look. The body is naked, so you don't have to worry about clothes getting in the way. You take a look. There are no injuries of the sort on this individual, which is odd because everything else that you have encountered that has turned into a monster has had an injury like that.
I'm going to use the Tides of Chaos and just do a basic medicine check. Seeing what cause of death and what might have been going on with him as he died.
Go ahead and roll me medicine. It's a
Thank God.
natural one. You see that he
No,
was...
no, no. Tides of
Tides of
Chaos.
Oh,
Chaos.
Tides of Chaos. Right. 19. My bad, sorry. I forgot about
Thank
that, like, instantly.
The fuck?
You look at this body here. It's very clear. You get up close and personal. I think Helen casts a light. Casts a brief, like, sort of light into the air, like a orb that you can that she can manipulate, and brings it closer.
Mage light.
That you can see. And you see the injury once again is messy. It's not a straight like stab through. It's not clean. You can tell that there was like a jump at some point whenever the person had stabbed into the body here. You can tell that this was most likely a dagger wound. Had pierced through a main artery of the heart, causing it to die and fail. But you also see there's like a large sort of contusion on the back of the head from like blunt force trauma. And you see you take a look at it, and you can see from like the veins, like the purplish pale veins that you can see from under the skin have sort of... It's mainly around like the mouth and throat. And there's like a bit of like crust from like a foam or something. You have the feeling that whatever happened to this person before they became a monster, due to just like the look of them, that they were probably poisoned. Which means that a couple of things. They were poisoned and then the blight got to them, or the person who had been inflicting these injuries that causes people to experience the blight has changed up their methods.
All right. So we're dealing with someone working very stealthily. They can't go stabbing like they were before. So sneakier. All right. We know someone's after us. I guess we were looking at guards. We need to focus on food as well. I have the ability to purify food and drink, so nothing we eat goes into your mouths without passing by me first.
Hey.
That includes the two of you.
Who are you talking to?
Helen and Venkashali. Helen, you're a grand mage. Someone might be looking for you as well. And Venkashali, you've survived the blight and you might have information. So it's very important that we make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone here.
Alright, if that's what you feel is best, who am I to argue? Chisel.
It
Yes.
is a first level ritual spell, so I would be able to cast it on larger portions and, well, our inconvenient schedules allow me to cast it very well, but be aware.
Chisel.
Hmm.
Roll me a perception check if you'd be so kind.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's
Oh,
19.
no.
You look around. And you're kind of chilling with Nuntius. You're listening to everything that's being talked about, but you're like looking up at Nuntius.
Munching on some bread.
Munching on bread. You start to notice a bead of sweat dripping down his temple. His skin pales. His breathing gets heavier. He suddenly stumbles out from off the stool, gasping, he's having a freak out all of a sudden. His eyes are blown wide. He starts basically like he's again breathing heavy. He goes, "No, stay back. Don't come closer. I swear. Don't." I'm gonna need everyone here to make me dexterity saving throws.
Oh dear.
Oh. Okay.
That's a nat 1.
Natural 1, a 17, and a 13. Okay.
Actually, I am going to use a cloud rune, and as a reaction, I can cause 7.
So reroll.
I'm not cloud. Actually, yeah, to re-roll and for the failed dex save to be on Nuntius. And no, you don't have to re-roll. It's literally, I can literally make Nuntius get hit by his own attack.
Okay.
Or whatever
Okay.
is causing it.
Got
As a
it.
bonus action, as a reaction.
Okay.
Got it.
It says hit by an attack roll, not a save.
Okay. He casts the spell. In a large column, a divine light from within the dark shoots down into a beam, scorching the floor and hitting almost everyone here. Need to make quick saving throws for... could Shrub also make me a dex saving throw,
Yep.
please? Shrub is fine. Venkashale and Helen also get hit with this spell, as suddenly, from nowhere, Nuntius casts Flame Strike out of fear. You all take, those who have failed, which does not include Redwood or Shrub.
Shrub's immune to it anyway.
Shrub is immune to it anyways. But it's good to know if she passed it or not. Where'd my mouse go? There'd my mouse go. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Okay. That's...
Don't forget, you do have a calculator.
Thank you.
A living calculator that needs food and water.
15 plus
I have
11.
water. 15 plus 11 is 26.
26 fire radiant damage on everyone who
Ooh.
had failed.
102 minus 26. Still good. I don't think Jared is.
Jared, how you doing, buddy?
I am at 37 HP out of 63.
And then Redwood.
So about half.
Redwood, you're fine. Well, let me double check to make sure that's not half damage really quickly. Half as much.
Ignis!
Half a success. Half as much as unsuccessful. So go ahead and
13.
take half damage.
Take 13?
Yes.
It's 26 divided by 2. 13.
Okay.
Excellent.
As soon as this wave of fire comes in, I'm going to tackle him and cast Dispel Magic.
Okay, you tackle him. What's the range of Dispel Magic?
120 feet.
Okay, you cast Dispel Magic. It's an instant spell.
Yes.
Does it last for
Casting time of an action, duration instant.
duration?
Well, I can
It
pull
really
the fucking
deletes
spots
any
here.
spell that is affecting it.
Can I
Okay.
put?
You cast.
Oh, have to tell what level I'm casting it.
Yes. You do this, and the moment that the spell on Venkashale, or not Venkashale, fuck, Nuntius drops, Helen starts freaking out.
God damn it! I don't know if I have enough. Okay, we're going to just be shooting this fucking thing around.
She casts Infestation.
That's a roll to hit.
It
Isn't it?
is a roll to hit on a singular creature. She basically, what ends up happening is Nuntius drops in the spell. He is panting, his breathing is still heavy, he's still sweating a little bit, and he's looking around and he's like, oh god, what happened? What? I wasn't... And then Helen starts...
All the time, something's going on.
Helen, like, blinks, like, her vision seems to, like, swim for a moment, and her eyes widen, and wordlessly casts Infestation.
She got to choose
Question
someone.
is, at who?
No. Oh yeah. Go ahead. She's casting it straight out in front of her. 7. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and make me a con save. Make me a con save, please.
This is a
Nat 20.
Okay.
This is an attack roll, correct?
No, they need
No,
to make
this is con. Never mind.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't do
soon
anything
as-
if they succeed because it's a cantrip.
And as soon as I kind of dodge that, I'm going to go and grapple her to restrain her.
You grapple her and restrain her. As a go ahead and roll me contested athletics.
Contested athletics.
I will tell you now, it's not very high. Okay. You beat her, you successfully restrain her. Her arms are now locked at her sides. And then Ven Kashale starts freaking out.
Before he even moves his hands,
Uh-huh.
I'm shooting his ass.
What are you shooting him with? Are you hitting him with another Dispel Magic?
Stop! Stop!
So you're casting a mass Dispel Magic. The room is small, so you manage to hit everybody. And you hit everyone, and Van Gashale, like, there's a brief moment of panic that quickly diminishes the moment that you see and notice that he's panicking and not having a good time. Helen relaxes in your hold, Seven. Like, all the adrenaline just instantly gets sapped from her body. She kind of just, like, falls into you.
Oh, easy. I got you.
Nuntius looks around and goes, "What just happened? What was that?"
Something's in this room. We need to find it now. Anyone with detection, use it. I'm going to throw up my own detect magic.
I would like to try something, if I may.
What would you
I
like?
would like.
Let's handle Seven.
So, because I've been delving into magics and all that, and this Camp 3 came from magics, in my like Camp 3 form, can I just like smell it like one would smell a blood trail?
Magic.
I would say, unfortunately,
Yeah.
no. While your form originally originated from magic, it is based like cancer pain.
Okay.
Sorry.
Then, in which case, investigating around for any runes or any symbols of magic.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chisel. What's up?
I'm gonna bash the body with my warhammer.
Okay. Roll to hit.
And I am going to activate Owlbear's Endurance, which gives me advantage on one melee attack.
Mm-hmm.
To hit a corpse.
18.
Roll me damage, please.
Okay, that is this giant strike. So that's a d6. That's another d6. So that is 11 damage.
Do 11 damage.
On the head,
On the head.
specifically, but...
Remember, called shots instantly hit on a natural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, you do not get a natural 20. But what you do end up doing instead is making something angry. The body grabs the handle of your warhammer after you slam it onto its shoulder. You hear the sound of broken bone instantly repairing itself and snapping back into place. It grabs your warhammer, hits its fist against the base of the head. It's going to try and throw you. I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
And I am going to activate Storm Room. Now, that's a bonus action. I don't have time for that. 19.
Okay. You are grabbed by this. It doesn't throw you. I'm going to need you to make me a contested athletics to see if your hammer gets pulled from your hands.
Nat 20.
We've gotten some good nat 20s in this session.
You do not get rid of a fighter's warhammer.
That is the wrong spell.
I
don't
don't
think
think it to my spell list.
Just you do not get rid of a fighter's warhammer.
No, you don't.
Right. Grabs the hammer, attempts to throw you. When that fails, he attempts to yoink it out of your hand. The body, dick out, by the way. This thing ain't wearing pants.
I wonder if it feels pain.
So
Shoots it in the dick.
Shoot it in the dick. The body stands up, clawing at the stone slab that it was on. Black ichor drips from its mouth, its wild eyes darting to and fro. The blood, the stab wound that was originally, dry with blood, begins to pour out this black ichor once more. And that is where we shall end this episode. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for episode 27 of Chronicles of Umaria, Chapter 1, Shadow Falls. We will be picking up next session with combat here in the catacombs. We hope you enjoy.
Shall we roll initiative? So it's on.
Yeah, go ahead, roll me initiative. But we will see you guys next time.
Oh,
Goodbye.
Fucking zombies!
Oh.